Welcome back to Statistics Made Simple, and I am Savita Balsang. The first type of probability which you have learned is the classical definition of probability. In this video, I'll explain the second type, which is the conditional probability, and we will also learn about the multiplication theorem of probability. The definition of conditional probability is an important one. So let's start with let A and B be two events. Then the conditional probability of B given A is the happening of B when it is known that A has already happened. The conditional probability of B given A is denoted by, first write P, which stands for probability, then within brackets you have B, then you have a straight line which stands for given that, which I have highlighted at this side in pink color box, and then you have the event A. So P of B given A means it is the probability of event B given that event A has already happened, and the formula is P of A intersection B divided by P of A, where P of A is greater than 0. Understand this concept well, that is P of A should be greater than 0. If it is equal to 0, then the denominator will be 0, and any number divided by 0 is indeterminate or it does not exist. So P of A should always be greater than 0. The probability of happening of B when nothing is known about the happening of A is called the unconditional probability of B. The first note, if P of A is equal to 0, then the conditional probability, that is P of B given A, is not defined. This is what I explained a while back. And the second point is, if A and B are independent events, occurrence of B will be independent of A. Therefore, the conditional and unconditional probabilities are equal. That is, P of B given A will be equal to P of B. This is only if A and B are independent events. So there are several points to be kept in mind when we learn about the conditional probability. The multiplication theorem of probability is also called as a theorem of compound probability, and it's important to practice this theorem, which can be asked for 5 marks. The statement, let A and B be two events with respective probabilities P of A and P of B. Let P of B given A be the conditional probability of event B given that event A has happened. Then the probability of the simultaneous occurrence of A and B is given by the expression P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B given A. Note that if the events A and B are independent, then the statement reduces to P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. The statement will carry 2 marks and the proof will carry 3 marks. Now the initial proof is very similar to the proof of the addition theorem of probability. So let's consider a random experiment which results in n mutually exclusive, equally likely and exhaustive outcomes. Let m1 of these outcomes be favorable to an event A and let m2 of these outcomes be favorable to an event B. Let P of these outcomes be favorable to A intersection B. So at this side we have the Venn diagram. Within the box in grey color we have the sample space, which is denoted by S, and the total number of favorable outcomes is n. Now the event A is denoted by the blue circle and the number of outcomes which are favorable to event A is M1, and similarly the event B is denoted by the orange circle and M2 outcomes are favorable to this event. Then highlighted in white color is P, which is the number of outcomes which are favorable to A and B, that is A intersection B. So let us now find out the probabilities of A, B and A intersection B. So consider P of A. You know that the formula is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. In this case, it will be M1 by N. Similarly, using the probability formula, we get P of B is equal to M2 by N and P of A intersection B is equal to P divided by N. Part of the proof is important, which will help us to get the required result. So when event A has happened, the random experiment can result only in one of the M1 outcomes which are favorable to event A. Therefore, the random experiment has only M1 mutually exclusive, equally likely and exhaustive outcomes. And out of these M1 outcomes, P outcomes are favorable to event B. Hence, the conditional probability of event B given that event A has already happened is P of B given A is equal to, we are using the classical definition formula, that is P divided by M1. Instead of M divided by N, now it will be P divided by M1, which is equal to, now you have to divide the numerator and denominator by N, which I have highlighted in pink color by the arrow. So you get P by N whole divided by M1 by N. Now what is P by N? It is probability of A intersection B divided by M1 by N is nothing but P of A. This expression I have highlighted in purple color with an asterisk. So finally we get P of B given A is equal to P of A intersection B divided by P of A. Cross multiplying, you will get therefore P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B given A. Hence, the theorem is proved. Note that if A and B are independent events, the conditional and unconditional probabilities are equal. That is, P of B given A is equal to P of B. Hence, the conditional probability of event B given that event A has happened is, it is P of B given A is equal to P divided by M1, which is equal to, now again divide the numerator and denominator by N. So you'll get P by N whole divided by M1 by N, which is equal to P of A intersection B divided by P of A. But P of B given A is equal to P of B. Therefore, substituting on the left hand side, we'll get P of B is equal to P of A intersection B divided by P of A. Then you cross multiply and hence we get P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. Hence, proved. Thank you all for watching, and in my next video we'll find solutions to problems based on conditional probability.